Monday evening. Hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving. If you got that week off, you had a good week off. I'm going to first off by tell you, thanks for volunteering, either again or the second time. I just have really been impressed and appreciative of the amount of support that grows for our students embedded in STEM and the mindsets that we're working on. I'm really excited about some banners that are going to be in here tomorrow morning that we're going to figure out if we can hang from the rafters before everybody comes Tuesday evening. And I think that'll really show you like, oh, okay, here's what we're going for when we have these events. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time talking about like the goal. What I really want to talk about today is if you came on September to our Maker Faire, a lot of the things were, I wouldn't say simple, but they had a level of running them at a low skill, what I would say, where you didn't have to know a whole lot about what it is. This one's still about the same, but there are some specific things, especially when we look at some of our challenges and activities. We're going to have out some tools for students. There's a potential, right, for some safety things, so we're just going to talk about those as we go around. Also with some of the tech that we're using, talk about expectations for those, just so you know, and that way it's consistent for students as they go around today. Where you're sitting at, just to talk about logistics, one of the big pain points that I saw from last time was no seating for eating. And so what you had was you would have people come and sit down to eat like on top of the station so that people couldn't work. So we thought, well, let's designate a place to eat this time, so that's kind of where you're at. So if you think about this corner section here as the tables and the eating spaces, and then the food, the pizza and everything will still be set up in the back corner there. So it still gives you access in and out for people bringing in food if they need to or extra drinks. But we're not going to have that door open to the public. I want everybody to come through the front for registration so we can get a better idea of numbers and head counts and make it easier for whoever's running registration. If you're looking around towards the back, this other corner, that's the student showcase area. So I have different groups of students across our campuses coming to showcase the making that they're doing. So that'll be over there. Here's what I'm going to do next. So I'm going to try something. I'm actually going to talk about each place and station, so we're going to do kind of like a tour. We're going to do like a mini field trip around what it'll look like when everybody's in here. I'm also going to tell you where I have you kind of signed up to be the head volunteer at a station. If you're listening to a station and you think, oh, you know what, I think my skill set will be better here, just let me know. I mean, I can work things out. This is kind of where I put you based on what I knew so far. If we've talked about a station, you're good with it, and you need to go, please go. So if I get to your station last, need to go, I apologize. I couldn't clone myself. My wife would hate me if I did that, so one of me is enough. So this is the eating area. Next place we're going to talk about is, also if you want to stay behind, like I've already talked about, when you just want to play with it, feel free to check out the equipment. So the first one we're going to talk about is, you guys want to walk with me. These 5 rooms are our immersive VR. So I don't know if you've ever done it, but it's where you can put on the goggles. We'll open up the application, and then that room is transformed into whatever you see on the computer screen. So Patrick's going to be in charge of running this. If you don't know Patrick, Patrick is the art teacher at WTC. Some of his students are going to come and help facilitate. He's been before and kind of run through the program. Quickly, the way it works is I'm going to have up a program called Google Tilt Brush. But what it does is it allows students to paint in virtual reality. So the joysticks become paintbrushes. You can switch through color palettes. You could really choose any environment that they want to digitally paint in. I'm going to constrict it to the Winter Wonderland. So there's actually an environment that loads. When the students put on the goggles, they see snow falling. They see these beautiful snow-capped hills rolling across in virtual space. And then there's a snowman that's just a blank snowman. And so they get to go in and paint and create from there. We're not going to save any of the work that they do. This is just kind of a chance for them, the community, to explore one of the really, I think, high-end things that we have that I don't know of any other district that has more than one of these, so we want to get people in. Only expectation in here is 2 at a time. It's pretty easy. If you can kind of come in, I'll pull some stuff out so you can see. When you come in, you have the headsets. So one student or one person, could be parents too, will put on the headset, loosens and tightens over here. The second person is their guide. Whatever they see on the screen, the person will be able to see as well, so that way they can kind of see where they're at. And I tell the second person, just hold the cord and make sure we don't trip. There's some things embedded where you cannot walk into the wall. It's almost impossible. And so Patrick's come and he's seen, okay, here's the basics of how to help people navigate through the program, and his students have seen that too. If you're like, hey, I'm kind of interested in learning about it, just stay behind and I definitely can walk you through the program. It takes, what, Patrick, 5 minutes to go over the basics?
Yeah, pretty easy.
And then you just kind of play with it from there. So that's Tilt Brush. There's 5 rooms. If it gets where it's really crowded, then we'll just kind of set a soft timer to it and say, okay, we're going to give you about 3 or 4 minutes, and we'll transition out. If you want to come back, you can come back and explore too. So that's Tilt Brush, the immersive VR rooms. Everything's charged for that. We'll keep walking, or you guys can just stay here. These are a robotic snowplow. So when I come up with activities or ask you guys to brainstorm, I'm trying to think of what's something meaningful that can go from my youngest makers, 3-year-olds, all the way up to our oldest makers. The other day I had, last time we did this, I had a couple walk in from across the street. They were in their 70s. I said, oh, hi, we just wanted to come and check it out. And they got totally involved with the robots, and he and I started talking about running cross-country in college because he was a cross-country runner. So, I mean, you kind of get to know the people who do come. It's not always like our students. This one is pretty easy. I'm excited because we just got enough of these robots to pull this off. This is the field. So you have a square field. You turn on the robot. He has his snowplow built on, and then you let it snow. So my ACE volunteers, you guys did really well with the robots last time, but so if you want to just kind of be the one that you're in charge of. The iPad, he connects Bluetooth through the iPad. There's 2 different apps that you can use to control the robot. I haven't had the instructions on this whiteboard behind us. If they're younger than 8, then we'll want to use an app called Go. It basically turns the iPad into a joystick so I can move the robot however I want to. If they're older than 8, then we want to use the Blockly app and have them connect blocks of code to see if they can tell the robot how to move to pick up all of the snow. If it closes, I made a folder on these called Robot Snowplow so you know where to find the apps and where to go. So if I'm going to do Go connect. If they ever disconnect, on the bottom I have their names. So this one's Tiger. And then it'll say, oh, I'm looking for my robot. There's Tiger. You got Bobcat on, yep. And then I just use the joystick to drive. And the goal is using my snowplow to pick up as many pieces of snow as I can. And you know they're off whenever they pushed them off to the side at some point. So that's the robotic snowplow. Everything's built there. Once they've done it, it's really easy to reset, put all of the cotton balls into the cups, and then it's ready for the next person. So I have 4 of those set up. Everything's charged, ready to go. If things start to run out of battery, we have backups too for these things. And they disconnect on their own. Okay. Next one is, this is where I got the museum helping. Oh, I can't remember.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Miss Wheeler, I have you over here too.
Oh, good.
Okay, so this is like our do-it-yourself Christmas wrapping type or Christmas decor area. We have cardstock set up to fold and make gift boxes. And so I have the instructions here for that. And then we also have instructions and materials ready to make different types of Christmas bows. So this is definitely something, we practiced it the other day with that one. You'll want to think of it like this. So I kind of put like a cue here. Parents make one, kids make one. So do it like you see me and then follow my instructions. 6, 7-year-old could kind of follow along with you, but it's definitely not one that like a younger kid could do by themselves. Tell me what else you want.
Oh, we also have the district, you can make tiger snowflakes. So we've got the district logo and they'll be able to cut out and do little tiger flakes, so.
So those are the 3 things we'll be able to do over here. All the materials are here. If you start to run out of stuff, then just let us know and we can grab some from the makerspace back there. I'm thinking you over here for this one. Maybe even BCEC, you guys here too, because I got like some circuitry stuff going on as well. Okay? This is our National Hackatoy Challenge. So the way it works is that I've registered us, hey, we're putting on a design challenge. One of our stations is going to be to hack a toy. The level of hacking can go anywhere from something really basic to like totally taking apart a toy and redesigning it. When somebody comes over and they want to take on the challenge, in this chair, they have a paper that walks them through the process. So the first step is it tells them, okay, here's what your challenge is, so they can read through that with whoever's helping them. Really what they're doing is the big question they're trying to answer is, how might you redesign an old toy to bring new joy? If they brought a toy, that's great. If not, we have some from the table that they can choose from. Choose one. If you guys have extra toys that aren't being used at home, bring them please, and we'll add them there. Yeah, so bring them for sure. Once they've chosen their toy, then they can brainstorm some ideas. So I have pins out where they can draw 3 different ideas of like, okay, I think maybe I want to try this, I want to try that. To help with that, because it is hard maybe, I made something called a launch pad. It's really just a catalog of ideas. So from other schools that have done this before, you can flip through and the kids can flip through and see some different ideas of what could I do with a toy. The tools are here on the table that they can use. So step 1 is obviously you got to take apart the toy a little bit before you can add new pieces to it. The things on the floor are available for them to work with as well. Last time we did the paper circuits, and those have been a really popular item, and the resources to do this are extremely inexpensive, like a coin battery and these little LED lights. Total, we're talking about less than a penny when you price it all out. But easily I could add light up eyes, things like that to my toy if I want to. I also have copper conductive tape, so if you wanted to make a simple circuit, and I'll have a model of what that looks like here, then they could do that too if they want to add something that lights up for their toy. The tools that I wanted to talk about here, pliers, screwdrivers are pretty straightforward. There are some toys that I have that have a sound component. It's actually really interesting for students to take apart the toy and see how that sound component works, so we want to give them that option. Because I'm hoping at some point we build this out to where we then take our Arduinos, Raspberry Pi type stuff, and we can reprogram that sound chip or whatever. But at this point, we're just going to let them take it apart. If they want to cut cardboard or foam board, that's fine. Here's the only procedures that I really have. With your box cutter, make sure they understand how to use it properly. So that would be opening it and locking it so it doesn't close. Make sure that they're doing their cutting over a mat and not straight onto here. If they actually want to move it down to the floor to cut, that's fine too. But for the box cutter, those are really the 2 big things. The final one might be, when I cut, I always pull towards me, never try to saw or move away from me. I've had box cutters with 38-year-olds one time. We ended up with 0 cuts or anything, so I feel pretty safe here. And also remember too, you're gonna have parents and adults. There's nothing wrong with asking a parent, hey, will you make sure to help your child while they work on this? And then let them take some of that ownership responsibility from you as well. But all the tools are there. When they finish, we gotta have a picture of their final design. So they'll fill out the back of this page, their toy with this page on the iPad. So they'll just basically set up it on a table, take their iPad, take a picture, done. Because then what I do is I upload all of our students' finished toys to that national challenge so they become part of their library so that students can review those if they want to. Okay, so that's Hack a Toy. Let's just stay right here and we'll go Christmas caroling. Okay, this one's called Caroling Around the Universe. I'm open to different names, just what I came up with at like Saturday, really late at night. It sounds, I think I got it down to where it's a pretty streamlined event for who's running this. And so Coach Grosjean, you got the green screen, recruit somebody to help you. Okay, but here's how it works. When groups of people are ready to sing their song, in the first chair, they have their menu. So they go through and they pick the song that they want to sing. and then they're gonna choose the background that they wanna sing at. They go from all over the place to this picturesque, snowy house that they're in front of, all the way to the Amazon rainforest, to Hawaiian beach, to the moon surface, so they can do all types of stuff. I also have a good mix of Christmas songs. I try to keep them short and the lyrics simple. Once they've done that, then these are the lyrics. It's kind of like their song sheet, so they can pick this up, turn to the page they want to go to. And when that group is ready, and when Coach Grojan is ready, then they can come into the green screen room. So you guys can kind of come in. Yeah, you can all come in. Yeah, it is like.
You know this would be the most popular one, right?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so once they've come in, they're gonna tell whoever is the head volunteer in here, here's our song, here is the background that we want. The first thing that they're gonna do is, I'll have the Spotify playlist set up with the Bluetooth speaker, so if they choose Jingle Bells, it'll play through the speaker, and that'll come on. You point, and then you'll just record video here. So just like you would through the camera roll. So you record video, make sure it's only green when you're recording. When they're done, you turn off the music. This is why I have 2 iPads. I want them to actually do the making. It would be faster if I trained Amy real quick to like, okay, here's how you make the green screen, you show them, great. But I want them to have to do it, and so I have 2 iPads set up. So what Amy or whoever's running this will do is you'll just pop this iPad out. You can't break it, it's soft silicone. And so I have one already loaded so I can show you how to work through the app. Alright, so the app is called Green Screen, so it's just a little octopus
Convenient.
guy. Yep, you click on it. And then the first, what goes in the bottom is the background. So let's say that I choose images. All of those 9 backgrounds they can choose, I already have loaded on here. So I wanted to do the moon. So we're gonna use that. Above it on the second stream, you're gonna go through and you're gonna choose video. And it's already loaded into the album. So there's mine. Use that. And then it should be good. Oh, but I didn't do it in front of the green screen. So then what it does is it would overload that, and that's done.
Okay.
It look like they're on the move. If you want to see what it looks like, we can do that real quick too. So Cole, go stand in front of the green screen for me. So if I want to,
Yeah, sing for us.
Jingle bells?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll flip the camera, yeah, so you can see it too.
Oh, very nifty. I like that.
So the only trick to it is if you switched them, if you put Cole's video below the moon, it wouldn't overlay it. So that's how I think of it, is I'm overlaying the music
Okay.
onto the moon. So that kind of helps you put it down. Yep. So when they finish that, they'll hand that back or just slide it in right here, and you're already recording the next one. I'll make out like a how-to green screen do ink type thing that's already sitting out here, so they can kind of read through it and figure it out. You might have another volunteer that's posted out here to kind of help with that.
Tell them to read.
Yeah, so that would be that to me, that's the only hitch I could think was like, so I said, oh, I don't know how to do this. So that's that. All right, let's go to the next
Sorry,
room.
Susan, they grab it. So how do
There's
we
my
do it?
Christmas card.
So how do we do
Look
it?
at that.
That's right, that's right. I did that with my mom. I was about to say, my mom would kill for this.
All right, come on into the design your Christmas ornament.
So we can use that to do district
So
Christmas.
Bill and Amy, this is why I have you guys, because I think, Bill, this is your idea. Come on in, you got it. Cole, I'm here and having you here too, but if you want to flex
Okay.
between Amy and then over here, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so in here, people can come in and design a Christmas ornament. Now, it can go anywhere from, I'm just gonna take a piece of foam board or some string, color something on markers and make it to where it hangs up. That's fine, they can go to that. If they want to, they could use the 3D pins. You can't burn yourself, they're cold to the touch on the outside, so there's no harm here. The only thing is to make sure when they design their ornament that they're doing it over one of the plastic sheets. I already have filament out, but if you need more, extra supplies are stacked here on the back. They don't have to sit in a chair. I just know that some people might have felt more comfortable. The way they work is I turn them to on. When the light turns green, that means that it's warm enough and it's ready to go. So if there's nothing in the back, you would take a piece of filament and put it through, and then I press the orange button. It'll start feeding out. When you're done, you just press this and it stops it and cuts it wherever it finished.
Okay.
So start to get it to go, press the second time to get it to stop.
Okay.
When they're done, they can turn them off, but they'll all be charged and ready to go. One spool makes quite a bit, so I've watched some students do it this week, and I would say at most a student made some glasses and it took maybe 2 spools. Okay, so that's like kind of the medium level of it. The highest level of this is, I moved our 2 design mats into here for today. And I'll have these set to where they're open and ready to go. But I have Tinkercad already pulled up.
Okay.
So if students want to come in and design in 3D an ornament, they can definitely do that. I got 2 computers, so it kind of limits you on the number, but you know, you could tell them, hey, let's spend 15 minutes on it, then rotate and then come back if you want to, so it gets more people into it.
Okay.
When they're finished, if they'll just leave this open, because this is my account, then I can actually print those off onto the 3D printers at some point for them.
Okay.
If you have people who are interested in learning more about the 3D printers, just send them my way, and I can do that for them. If they make a 3D ornament here, I'll need to know who it's for. So I kind of put these by the printers as a reminder. Just make sure they fill out one of these. It's just a contact card, so I can
Okay.
make sure that I can take it to their teacher, or they can come back and pick it up if they're not a student. So we have plenty of filament and things like that for whatever project they want to do. We're good. Yeah, so that's in here. If you get claustrophobic, step out.
It's a little warm.
All right, our last one, so follow me. All right, so Dr. McLean and Brooke, I'm thinking of you two. This is kind of you, the one that you're managing. This was Poetry Slam. That one didn't happen. So instead we're going to redesign a gingerbread decor. So what I did was, went to Sam's and got the materials needed. Instead of making a gingerbread house out of it, students are going to redesign something, another type of edible Christmas decor. When they come in, I only have enough for 50 different students. And I'm gonna ask that it's students doing it. If their parents wanna help, that's fine. But I really want students to be the 50. The first thing they'll do is they'll just sign up, write their name and their age. That helps me find them later if they have to leave before it's done. Here's what goes in a kit. So I put the list of ingredients here and I have them laying out here. Make sure they get a plate to design on. And then they can come out to any of the open tables and design. There's no time limit. The only kind of, I guess, rule would be that it closes at 6:30 p.m. That gives us time to clean it up. I'm thinking about if I want to make this like a judging competition or not, like should we actually put categories and places and stuff. But that's what I have here is that it closes at 6:30, so that way you can wrap it up and get it cleaned up before. The only thing that's doesn't belong to just one student is a frosting goes for 2. So when they come in, you can just have 2 different people be next to each other and they can share that frosting as they use it to make their design. But everything else is out. We need extras, they're down here as well. Allergies to me would be like the biggest safety thing here, so I don't think you would need, hopefully like you would have a parent who could say, hey, no, we can't use this, but if not, then it's always good to check and ask if there's any allergies or things like that with the food. So that's the first 50. My other thought was at 5 o'clock, if you get rushed with 35 people, and you kind of look around and think, okay, we can hold about 20 to 25, say, okay, well the first 20, let's go ahead and start. And then as people finish, come back in. So we go ahead and write down everybody's name. To me, that's a fair way. Those first 35 came, you have their name, so tell them, hey, go walk around and then come back. That makes sure that we keep that 50 at the right place, and it's not, to me, that's the most equitable way to do it.
Is there an age limit, like on, like if a 2-year-old came in?
That's a good, I don't know.
Band.
I would say school age. Yeah, that's a good point. I think school age, so pre-K to seniors in high school, somewhere in there. They have to be a Snyder ISD student for this one, I think. That's a good
You
point.
might just suggest, like, because this is the first year so you might just suggest, like, hey, there's some other things they might enjoy more.
Yeah, whoever's doing registration, say, hey, don't forget to go check out the whole thing and then come back. Yep, good point.
100%.
Those are the stations. Registration table will be the same, so I'm hoping Ace can help me with the registration and the food stuff as well. Food will be here around 4:30, 4:45. That's really the logistics and kind of the big pieces for each of those stations. If you have any questions, feel free to stay behind, or if you want to kind of check out something more, just let me know. If you're not sure, still like, okay, what am I doing or where do I need to go? Stay and let me know, but I'm not going to hold.
When do you want us here?
Good question. If you guys could get here even 10 minutes before 5, I get all set up, so there's not an extra setup that needs to be done. At the end at 7 o'clock, my goal is that we're out of here by 7:17. There's not a whole lot of cleanup we'll do that evening. It'll just be more saying high fives, great jobs, and then we'll get home so we can get ready for the next day. So,
You want us to wear like Christmassy stuff or?
totally up to you.
I
I
would say,
thought-
Christmas hats
I'm definitely planning on
Christmas
rocking a
and
Christmas
stuff.
sweater.
Okay.
That's kind of my.
That's a good idea.
I think we should all dress like elves.
I already ordered my ugly Christmas
Make an
sweater.
ugly Christmas sweater.
I saw where Walmart sells them now.
They do. It's
Some
kind
of
of
us
cheapened
point
the
out.
whole vintage.
That would have been a good station, make you an ugly
See,
Christmas
I know,
sweater.
if we could have raided Goodwill, got a bunch of sweaters, and everybody could have made their own.
All right,
I
note-
didn't even think about that.
Note for next
You
year.
got it.
No, ugly Christmas sweater.
All right, well, thank you all very much. Thanks for volunteering. Thanks for letting me walk you around.
I got it. I ordered it.
Sounds good.
Here in London.